This is the Intercontinental Broadcasting Corporation. Sa bagong Pilipinas.
Good evening. This is 13 News.
Let's get into the headlines right now. INC gears up for another rally tomorrow with 100,000 people expected. Palace says it respects free expression but warns against abuses.
Labor Department announces a historic 85 peso minimum wage increase, set to benefit over 1 million Metro Manila workers.
All systems go for the Senate impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte next week.
President Marcos welcomes new U.S. Ambassador Lee Lipton, reaffirming the alliance between Manila and Washington.
And an Australian man is arrested as authorities uncover the body of a Thai teen inside a suitcase.
All these and more, here on 13 News.
We begin tonight's newscast with the Department of Labor and Employment's approval of the biggest wage hike ever for Metro Manila's minimum wage workers. An 85 peso increase in the daily minimum wage will be rolled out starting this July.
Over 1.1 million minimum wage earners stand to benefit from the increase, even as lawmakers debate a separate 200 peso nationwide wage hike proposal. Labor groups are pushing for swift approval. Ezra Abad has the full report.
The minimum wage in the National Capital Region is up by 85 pesos a day. According to the Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE, the increase will be implemented in 2 tranches. The first one, amounting to 60 pesos per day increase, will take effect on July 19, 2026. The remaining 25 pesos per day increase will be implemented on January 20, 2027. The wage adjustment will raise the minimum daily pay of non-agricultural workers in Metro Manila from 695 pesos to 780 pesos per day. Agricultural workers, meanwhile, will see their minimum wage increase from 658 pesos to 743 pesos per day. Over 1.1 million minimum wage workers in Metro Manila are set to benefit from the said salary adjustment.
Salamat po kung ganun. Para po pandagdag po sa budget po sa mga anak ko, nag-aaral pa kasi po yung anak ko. BBM, President, maraming po salamat sa dinagdag nyo po.
Malaking tulong na yun sa pamilya namin, lalo sa mga katulad ko mga driver, mga nagangad ng may dagdag kita. Salamat po, BBM.
Labor Secretary Francis Tolentino said this is the highest wage increase ever granted to private sector workers in Metro Manila, driven by high inflation and ongoing tensions in the Middle East. When asked about regional wage hikes, Tolentino said,
ongoing lahat yan. Siguro mauna ang Region 4A, Region 3 and Cebu, Region 7.
Earlier today, the House Committee on Labor and Employment began its hearing on the proposed 200 pesos nationwide minimum wage hike. Labor Group Trade Union Congress of the Philippines, or TUCP, is pressing the committee to immediately pass the 200 pesos across-the-board minimum wage increase for all private sector workers. On the other hand, employers group Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, or PCCI, have cautioned the committee on the possible consequences of such a sharp increase on the minimum wages.
A legislated 200 peso across-the-board wage increase is not just another wage adjustment. It is a structural change to the Philippine economy. The first consequence is inflation. Businesses do not operate in a vacuum.
Meanwhile, Labor Group Trade Union Congress of the Philippines, or TUCP, remains hopeful that the 200 peso wage increase will be the first step in achieving a daily living wage in the country.
So we hope that after the State of the Nation address, that finally the legislated wage increase will finally be a law so that the Senate can also act on it accordingly.
Ezra Abad, IBC News.
The Senate plenary hall has been rearranged to resemble a courtroom as preparations continue for Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment trial. The court has also approved the prosecution's final list of witnesses, request of trial dates, and order of presentation of evidence. IBC News correspondent Earl Tobias reports.
With just days before the trial of Vice President Sara Duterte, the Senate plenary hall has been arranged to resemble a courtroom. The witness stand is set at the center, surrounded by prosecution and defense panels, with designated seating for former officials who wish to observe the trial. Senator, judges, and the presiding officer also have their positions marked. Senate President Weeknights personally inspected the preparations, assuring that the court is fully prepared.
On track naman kami, on track. And kahit na maliit yung space, at least naayos na natin. Naayos na natin yung mga space. So yung prosecution, I understand, will come here to inspect their area. Handa na tayo. Back today will be the physical inspection. And then we'll continue to improve as we go.
The Senate earlier released the pre-trial order bearing the signature of Gatchalian as presiding officer. Under its pre-trial order, the court approved the prosecution's complete list of 57 witnesses for the BP impeachment trial. Among those included is Mary Grace Piatos, who has no record with the Philippine Statistics Authority and whom the prosecution believes to be a fictitious person.
There will be a subpoena on Mary Grace Piatos, particularly doon po sa Office of the Vice President, kasi doon naman ho siya kumuha supposedly nung kanya po nga pera as an acknowledgement receipt. No?
17 individuals have also been identified as common witnesses for both the prosecution and the defense. These include Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Rimulya, NBI Director Melvin Matibag, former Senator Antonio Trillanes, and Ramil Madriaga, who has identified himself as the alleged bagman and cash courier of VP Sara. The Senate Impeachment Court has also adopted the prosecution's request for a total of 62 trial dates to present its case on the 4 articles of impeachment against Vice President Duterte. It also approved the order of presentation proposed by the prosecution. First, the alleged threats made by VP Sara against the President, the First Lady, and the former House Speaker. Next, the alleged misuse of both OVP and DepEd confidential funds. Third, the allegations of bribery and corruption during Vice President Duterte's tenure as Education Secretary. And lastly, the allegations of unexplained wealth and a false statement of assets, liabilities, and net worth, or SALN. Meanwhile, the Vice President's defense team has opposed the prosecution's manifestation, seeking to allow private prosecutors to present witnesses during the trial. However, Ridon said,
wala pong dahilan para magbago po ng regulasyon. Ang advice po namin sa kanila, focus on your defense.
The impeachment trial will begin on July 6, expected to run for about 60 days. Ahead of this, a faith-based coalition and human rights lawyers have urged senators to focus on the substance of the law and decide strictly on evidence in the trial.
Hindi lang po siya legal, hindi lang po siya political na proseso, moral din po siyang proseso.
Earl Tobias, IBC News.
Meanwhile, the Office of the Ombudsman defended its decision to accept former DPWH Secretary Manuel Bonoan as a state witness in the flood control anomaly investigation. In a press conference earlier, Assistant Ombudsman Miko Clavano said the move was not meant to protect Bonoan but to secure inside information that could help build a stronger case, including against former House Speaker Martin Romualdez. Clavano explained that Bonoan was initially charged with plunder because he was not cooperating, but his status changed after he agreed to assist the investigation, taking into account his age, health, and the value of his testimony. Amid the decision, Malacanang said it will not interfere with the Office of the Ombudsman's plan to declare Bonoan a state witness in the flood control probe. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said the executive branch respects the Ombudsman's independence and will allow the agency to handle the case provided all legal procedures are followed. Meanwhile, the Quezon City Regional Trial Court has dismissed the 1 billion peso civil case filed against former House Speaker Martin Romualdez and other individuals in connection with the alleged flood control anomaly. The court dismissed the complaint due to lack of jurisdiction, and the complainant, former Quezon City Councilor Antonio Inton Jr., failed to pay the required 20 million pesos docket fee.
Former House Speaker Martin Romualdez has proposed the creation of a regional rapid response network of mental health and child protection experts following the recent school shooting in Tacloban City. Romualdez presented the proposal during a meeting with officials from the Commission on Higher Education, Department of Education, Department of Health, and Department of Social Welfare and Development to discuss the government's response to the tragedy. He also pushed for preventive education programs for students, parents, and teachers, as well as stronger mental wellness initiatives to help ensure the safety and well-being of the country's youth.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has received the credentials of the new U.S. Ambassador to the Philippines, Lee Lipton. During the ceremony in Malacanang, the President reaffirmed the strong alliance between the Philippines and the United States. Both sides also discussed expanding cooperation in the economy, defense and security, maritime affairs, regional development, and the Philippines-ASEAN chairship this year. Meanwhile, President Marcos' state visit to Canada will push through as scheduled. This comes after he canceled 2 engagements earlier today to monitor the situation along EDSA, where thousands of Iglesia ni Cristo members gathered in support of Senator Marcoleta. Acting Presidential Communications Office Secretary Dave Gomez said no changes will be made to the President's trip to Canada tomorrow.
Pag-asa is still closely monitoring a low-pressure area inside the Philippine Area of Responsibility, or PAR. The LPA was last spotted over the coastal area of Gasan, Marinduque. It carries a high chance of developing into a tropical depression within the next 24 hours and will be named Henry. The LPA will bring cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms to Metro Manila, Visayas, Central Luzon, Calabarzon, Bicol region, and Mimaropa. Meanwhile, the southwest monsoon will bring scattered rains and thunderstorms to most parts of Mindanao and southern Palawan, intensified by the LPA. PHIVOLCS records minor eruptions at the Al volcano. Stay tuned. This is 13 News. Truth is very important to me, especially now that I've entered this line of work. I'd say it's the only thing that fights against the disinformation and misinformation. I think it's really important to learn about the things happening around you and learn them from truthful, credible sources.
Truth is very important. It's what defines a human being. It's what separates what is true from what is a lie. I think our obligation and responsibility as a news person to disseminate the truth and to allow people, to be able to think for themselves, to be transparent, and everything else will follow.
Bagong Pilipinas. Mahalaga ang kapakanan ng bawat isa. Lahat ng aspeto ng lipunan pinagtutuunan ng pansin ng pamahalaan at ni Pangulong Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Bagong Pilipinas, PBBM, Lingkod ng Bayan. Tuwing Linggo, alas 8:30 ng umaga.
Following today's Iglesia ni Cristo gathering that triggered heavy traffic along EDSA, the palace says it respects the right to free expression but warns that public assemblies should not disrupt workers, students, or even the economy. The religious group has secured a permit for another rally tomorrow, with authorities expecting up to 100,000 participants. IBC News correspondent Alyssa Insigne has the full report.
Around 10,000 members of the Iglesia ni Cristo gathered at the EDSA Shrine today, with former Congressman Mike Defensor and Senator Alan Peter Cayetano also attending. Some 6,000 PNP personnel were deployed to secure the area, but clashes between participants and police occurred. 4 people were arrested, including the driver of a bus that struck a police officer and another who assaulted a police. The 2 injured officers are currently being treated.
Meron po tayo naisip na direct assault, but we're still studying yung pong iba pang pwedeng ikaso po sa mga tao na ito. Sinaktan po nila yung ating kapulisan, so that constitutes direct assault against an agent of person in authority po.
The gathering also caused major traffic.
Ma'am, sobrang haba. Nung kami malis sa pilahan namin, ma'am. Mabaw lang, ma'am, dapat kami, ma'am. Oh. Pero ang haba ng oras sa binahe namin.
Mga ilang minuto po tinagal nyo doon?
Mas kalating oras na kami doon.
Medyo matraffic talaga.
Apo.
Medyo hirap, mga 30 minutes. Napiktuhan man pero.
According to the Quezon City Police District, today's rally was not permitted. Only this afternoon, the INC confirmed they have a permit to hold a rally for tomorrow, July 1 from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. with expected participants of around 100,000 people. For its part, the palace stressed maximum tolerance in place, yet violations during the INC gathering will not be ignored, especially amid looming plunder charges against INC member Senator Rodante Marcoleta. According to Palace Press Officer Claire Castro, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. reaffirmed respect for freedom of expression and assembly, warned against abuses that disrupts workers, students, or the economy.
Ang Pangulo naman ay nirerespeto ang karapatan ng bawat tao, ang freedom of expression, ang freedom of assembly, at pero hindi kinikilala ng Pangulo ang mga pang-aabuso na may kaakibat dito.
Malacanang also made clear that the President will not negotiate with any religious group if their demands undermine justice.
Hindi naman po ito hawak ng Pangulo. Hindi po ito hawak ng Pangulo. Ito po ngayon ay nasa Ombudsman. So, hindi po natin makita bakit kailangan ang Pangulo ang maging subject sa kanilang rally. Hindi po basta-basta makikipag-negotiate ang Pangulo kung may maaapektuhan at ito naman ay labag sa batas.
Meanwhile, Assistant Ombudsman Miko Clavano clarified that plunder charges are not confined to public funds. While most cases involve government money, he stressed the law also covers private funds, meaning even campaign donations can be grounds for plunder.
Ang plunder po kasi ay isang accumulation ng ill-gotten wealth at nilista po ng batas ang mga acts na pwedeng maging plunder. At isa po doon ay yung pag-receive directly or indirectly ng gift. Dahil hindi niya dineclare sa SOSE, sa Statement of Contributions niya, at hindi din niya dineclare sa kanyang SALN, then we consider, the Office of the Ombudsman Investigators considered this as a gift na pasok po doon sa plunder law na humigit pa sa threshold na 50 million pesos.
Alyssa Insigne, IBC News.
Meanwhile, the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, recorded minor phreatomagmatic eruptions at the Taal volcano earlier today. The largest eruption occurred at 2:34 p.m. and lasted for about 4.5 minutes, producing 3 pulses of ash and steam plumes that rose up to 1,200 meters above the main crater before drifting to the southwest. The latest activity followed an earlier series of minor eruptions at around 7 a.m. PHIVOLCS said Alert Level 1 remains in effect as it continues to closely monitor Taal volcano.
A police officer is facing criminal and administrative cases after CCTV footage allegedly showed him harassing an 8-year-old girl in Taguig City on June 21. The suspect, a police corporal, was also accused of making inappropriate remarks to the child and allegedly sent messages expressing a desire to visit her home. The Philippine National Police condemned the alleged incident, reaffirmed its zero-tolerance policy against sexual harassment, and assured the safety of the victim's family while the suspect remains under investigation. Meanwhile, the National Police Commission, or NAPOCOM, said the officer may face grave misconduct and conduct unbecoming of a police officer. The agency also pushed for stricter recruitment screening and urged the public to report abusive police personnel.
Pinag-uusapan namin dito complete background investigations of policemen before they are recruited, and yung dumaan sila sa proper na neuropsychological examinations. Hindi pwedeng shortcut, hindi pwedeng kahit sino na lang pwedeng maging police.
The MMDA and Pasig City Local Government Unit launched a nature-based sidewalk improvement along C5 Road. Traditional impervious concrete sidewalks will be replaced by a permeable pavement system with landscaping and, when possible, stormwater detention tanks. The newly upgraded sidewalks along C5 Road are designed to improve drainage, reduce flooding, and withstand heavy loads. Stretching 3 kilometers from Ortigas Avenue to Bagong Ilog, the new walkways use permeable pavers made from recycled glass and plastics, supporting MMDA's initiative on waste diversion. MMDA Chairman Don Artes says the initiative will boost sustainable urban development and better walkability. The project also includes landscaping, stormwater tanks, and support trucks for waste handling. This marks a first step towards greener flood-resilient infrastructure in Metro Manila.
Meanwhile, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Environment Secretary Juan Miguel Cuna are leading a stronger campaign against marine litter with the launch of a new cleanup vessel, MV Nilad. On June 30, DENR launched MV Nilad, which was donated by South Korea through the Korea International Cooperation Agency, or KOICA. The 25-meter vessel is equipped with a trash skimmer, deck crane, and oil boom designed to collect different forms of floating waste. This represents a stronger response to pollution in Manila Bay. Secretary Cuna says the MV Nilad reflects both stronger partnerships and shared responsibility in protecting coastal ecosystems. The vessel forms part of the 5-year Philippines-Korea initiative to improve solid waste systems and reduce marine pollution. Recent surveys show plastics make up 91% of litter in Manila Bay, but cleanup efforts have cut waste volume by more than a third compared to last year. This is proof that sustained action delivers real results.
The Mandaluyong City Regional Trial Court has ruled in favor of TVJ in its civil case against comedian and TV personality Angel Iliana over his derogatory statements on social media. The court ordered Iliana to settle 3.5 million pesos in damages, ruling that his social media posts caused harm to the group's reputation. It also issued a permanent injunction that strictly prohibits Iliana to publish, broadcast, or post any further derogatory statements against TVJ on any digital platform. In a statement, the group welcomed the decision, calling it a definitive vindication of the integrity of Itbulaga.
Filipino tennis star Alex Ayala is set to begin her Wimbledon Championships campaign tonight. Ayala will take on Renata Zarazua at around 10:15 p.m. on Court 12 in the opening round of the tournament. The match was moved to a later time slot due to the tournament's standard order of play and the scheduled rotation of matches. Meanwhile, Filipino pole vault star EJ Obiena claimed his first gold medal of the 2026 outdoor season at the Czesław Cybul Ski Memorial in Poznan, Poland. The two-time Olympian cleared 5.72 meters to seal the gold, defeating Owen Hurd of Great Britain and Matteo Oliveri of Italy, who settled for the silver and bronze medals respectively. The victory marked Obiena's second podium finish of the season after winning the silver medal at the Flight Circus event in Dusseldorf, Germany 2 weeks ago.
A 46-year-old Australian was arrested at Bangkok's main international airport while allegedly attempting to board a flight home following the death of a 17-year-old Thai girl. Surveillance footage shows the suspect, Simon Carmen, walking with the teenager before leaving the area alone, carrying a black suitcase. Authorities later found the girl's body inside a suitcase near a railway track. Thai police said Carmen has been charged with taking a minor for the purpose of committing an indecent act and is also being questioned on suspicion of murder. Carmen denies killing the girl. The United States has raised its national preparedness level to level 4 as deadly wildfires continue to spread across the interior West. Meanwhile, the international community continues to deliver humanitarian aid and support relief operations for victims of last week's earthquakes in Venezuela. CJ Reyes has the details.
In the United States, the National Interagency Center has raised the national preparedness level to 4 as deadly wildfires continue to spread across Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado. Officials say dry conditions and a lack of winter snow have created ideal conditions for wildfires in the summer. 3 firefighters were killed and 2 others were injured while deploying emergency shelters along the Colorado-Utah border. In Venezuela, relief efforts continue as the country recovers from last week's earthquakes. Argentina has deployed an urban search and rescue patrol to join search operations. It's made up of personnel specialized in rescue, accompanied by tracking dogs. The Czech search and rescue team continues to clear debris and search for survivors, with volunteers providing translation support. Vietnam Airlines has sent a second relief flight carrying 15 crew members and more than 46 tons of supplies and rescue equipment. An Indian Air Force aircraft also delivered 100 tons of humanitarian aid, relief supplies, and medical equipment to Caracas. Venezuela's National Assembly President Jorge Rodriguez said the death toll has surpassed 1,700. Meanwhile, Catherine, Princess of Wales, took on UK's National Three Peaks Challenge to help raise cancer awareness. She became the first royal to complete the hike, supporting the Royal Marsden Cancer Charity and its mission to improve holistic care for cancer patients. CJ Reyes, IBC News.
Before we wrap up tonight's newscast, we bring you the results of the PCSO's 9 p.m. lottery draws. For the Super Lotto 649, the winning combination is 26, 47, 5, 44, 10, and 22 with a jackpot price of 48,740,361 pesos and 17 centavos. For the Lotto 642, the winning numbers are 1, 10, 24, 27, 8, and 26 with a jackpot price of 53,206,155 pesos and 29 centavos. For the Ultra Lotto 658, the winning combination is 14, 43, 54, 52, 11, and 58 with a jackpot price of 128 million pesos. For the 6D Lotto, the winning combination in exact order is 5, 8, 2, 8, 1, and 6. For the 3D Lotto, the winning numbers are 3, 1, and 8. And finally, for the 2D Lotto draw, the winning numbers are 28 and 30. There is no winner for the Lotto 642, Super Lotto 649, and Ultra Lotto 658. Tomorrow, motorists will have to pay higher toll fees for both the South Luzon Expressway or SLEX and the Southern Tagalog Arterial Road or STAR. For SLEX motorists, those traveling end-to-end from Alabang to Santo Tomas will see a total increase of 14 pesos for Class 1, 27 pesos for Class 2, and 41 pesos for Class 3 vehicles. While for Star Tollway motorists, the total toll will increase by 8 pesos for Class 1, 17 pesos for Class 2, and 26 pesos for Class 3 vehicles.
People should prepare for their
Yes,
travels.
because it's costing a little bit more, but so we have to plan our trips better.
Also tomorrow, it's International Joke Day. It is a global observance dedicated to spreading joy, lightening the mood, and sharing laughter. I have to ask, what is your best joke, William?
Gee,
Hold on.
you know, you caught me off guard there. Actually, I have to think, but you know, it goes back to 2nd and 3rd grade. We had a lot of really good jokes at that time.
Got it.
Okay, and those were the latest from the IBC Newsroom this evening.
We'll continue to monitor the stories that matter and give you updates as they develop. I'm Angela C.
And I am William Thio. This is 30 News. Thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.